2007 Chevy Cobalt. Nice. Kind of seems like an oxymoron. Let's check this out. Car, been in the family since '02, and needs better tires. Does it need better tires? I think that's a lie. I think the tires are too good for it. It's a GX. Well, it's a GX! And you said LX in the fucking thing. Dude, I don't know. I'm not. That's kinda, man, I knew something was off with that. You can tell that steering wheel is made out of really cheap material. That's one thing I really can't stand in a car, is steering wheels made out of cheap material. So I think somebody's trying to launch this one to the moon, and I don't want to ride that rocket with them. Power steering, power brakes, approximately 281. Okay, so is it 281 or 381? Because I'll be honest, I do think that there's a difference between those two numbers. Very clean leather interior, overhead console, compass and temperature, loves future power seats, driver and passenger side, driver grade, but the engine bearings are bad, so it currently overheats. Is that how that works though? You know, I'm not really like a real mechanic, but engine bearings are bad, so it overheats. Also has a coolant leak. Is that how that works though? Because I want to say that isn't how that works. National. Really? I thought these were more expensive than this. And like, yeah, I get that it's a shipbox one, but I thought that even the shipbox ones were more money than this. RPO sticker still present. New tank, fuel pump, sending it. Casper's hot wire kit. What in the fuck are you talking about? 86, 87 coil pack conversion complete. New plugs and wires. Runs good. Needs minor rust repairs. Underside of trunk lid. I would replace the driver's side door or reskin. AC compressor and line is off the car. Not sure why. I assume it was bad. Parts are in the trunk. Clear, clean title. That's really interesting. He says it runs good. It's really interesting. I mean, he wants 11.5. I mean, I really thought that I really, and it was posted almost a day ago. I about can guarantee you that that's not going to be here next weekend. But I'm really surprised that I don't know a ton about those, but I thought that they were worth more than that. This has been for sale forever. Ever. I don't think that these command a large sum of currencies. Excellent body, needs work, drivable. If something is wrong with the exhaust, I'm moving, can't take it with me. Don't make them anymore once it's fixed. It's worth 14 grand. And the value will continue to rise. This was like the worst generation of Grand Cherokee. Nobody will ever want them. This is cheap. This might be our right click today. Posted not even a day ago in Canton, which is adjacent to me. It's in my vicinity. So you've really got everything. This is about the perfect damn whatever body you call this. 800 body? Yeah, is it a 5.7? No, it's not a 5.7. No, it's not. This is no, he says it's a 5.7. But these are 5.3, right? Am I making that up? Somebody's, yeah, see? 5.3, it says it right there. Yeah. Odometer check, last porter odometer, 35 grand in 03. Yeah, this is a 5.3. Like, it's okay to be confused sometimes, though. That's fine. It's four-wheel drive, though. New emissions, clean Carfax, and regular fax. So it's also apparently a time machine to 1993. But I really like it. This is an incredible 800 series truck. It's got low miles, 175. It's got less than 200 miles on it. It's a good paint color. It's an extended cab. It's got the alloys. It's got the Z71, 5.3, tow hitch. I mean, I'm not really, my grandpa has one of these. And the last time I drove it, I was thinking to myself, you know, I really like this truck. I really always like this truck because my grandpa bought his brand new in like 0102. So it's been just omnipresent. And the last time I drove it, I was like, you know, I always like this thing. And I got back to my grandpa's house to drop it off. And I was like, And he'd always had it, most of its life, that truck had been parked in the garage, and then, like, he got him a new wife, and so, like, her car's in the garage now, and so, like, the truck got put outside, and I was like, man, you can't, I was like, man, this truck's nice. This truck's too nice to be parked outside. And he was like, oh, what do you want me to do about it? I was like, well, you should park it under the lean-to on the side of the motorhome barn, or you can sell it to me. He actually started parking it under covered parking on the side of the motorhome barn. I was pretty proud of that. Like, influencing my grandpa? That's not, hey, I should be recognized for that. 33,000 miles original, AC heat, nice car. What is up with this now? It's a little bit rich in the price, but it's also kind of worth it. And he's gonna tell me it's 33,000 miles original? Like, dude, get real. Is that not real glass back there? Or what kind of a thing is that? What is that? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Oh, man. I have driven one of these at least once, probably a couple times. But the overriding memory that I have of driving one of these is when I was, like, just about to graduate, like, just like on the precipice of graduating and getting a job for the first time. I was going and looking at cars thinking, oh, I'm going to have a job. Like, I can buy a new car finally. And I went to the Hyundai dealership and I test drove one of these. And it was a 6-speed manual, which was like foreign to me because I drove like a 5-speed manual at the time. And I didn't know how to get it into reverse. And so, like, I got to the end of the test drive and got back to the dealership. And the salesman was in the car with me. And I started, like, trying to get it into reverse, and I was, like, pushing and pulling on the gear knob and, like, pulling up and down and looking for a button or something, and I pulled up on the gear shift knob. It was a manual car, and the knob came straight off in my hand, and I was like, okay. That's my one overarching memory of that thing. Holy truck. Is this a scam? I thought these were more money than this. I just saw a Highlander. It says this is 2023. It says it only got 6,000 miles. Rare manual mint. It's a 535i. What kind of engine was that? This is a 6-cylinder, but was it like just a naturally aspirated? This is a turbo 3-liter 6. Maintenance done by Eurofed, eccentric shaft motor. That's why I've never owned a BMW before. Because I don't want to have to learn what the fucking eccentric shaft motor is. It's a 5-speed or something. It's got a number of speeds. It's got, is that really BMW? Really, guys? You're gonna GMT 800 button this thing? Or GMT 900 that shit, that I should say. You're gonna GMT 900 button this thing, where the buttons, like the frontal area comes off as you press them. And even on the start stop of the engine, I'm sorry guys, I'm out. This is supposed to be like, oh, drummer quality, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, get out of town. Like, that's not what you should be getting. But here's the thing. Is why would you even buy a GMT 800 series pickup when you could just buy this for a quarter of the price? Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Why not just buy 4 of these, right? Like, tell me which one of these actions makes logical sense now, you know? Chevrolet 1500, that's what I call ugly. A little bit of amount of money that we've got going on with this 91 Corvette for cheap salvage title, stolen recovery. Minor damage to the front bumper and rear bumper. Psh, minor? I would call that 0. What, that little scratch right there? I don't see anything. Are these the before pictures? Because if them are the after pictures, you're selling yourself short. I like it. I'm not a red car fan. Car will pass state of Georgia inspection for rebuilt. Of course it will. It would pass any inspections. Mint. That's so cheap. That is so cheap. It would almost be a right click if it was any color other than red. for Pete's sake. $100. AC and heat are good. The car needs knock sensors. And why are we saying that? What do you mean by that? Do you mean that it knocks and you think a knock sensor is going to change that? Because it won't. Leak coming from behind the timing belt cover, replacing the seals of the crankshaft and camshaft will prevent the oil leak. Yeah, well, putting $1 million in my bank account would make me a millionaire. Easier said than done, friendo. Car was a great running until knock sensor went bad. What is the bad? The knock sensor, what? No, he's got a bunch of tools in his car. 19.2 volt cordless drill and stuff, which makes me think that he's a handy person. And the fact that he doesn't even want to fuck for this thing. Carsforless.org. What is that? Nah. Yeah, at 305. 430. It's 19.9. Has been garaged in my smoke-free home. I purchased it, including all the parts. What parts does it need? What parts does it need? What for the spare tire kit? Okay. So this was a 67,000. Jesus Christ. I was never a fan of these. It's you know, it's too bad. It's too bad. I was never a fan of these. It's kind of a shame. I liked the original ones quite a bit more. The golden age of design for Lexus was, in my opinion, the 90s. Golden age of build quality was went from the 90s into the early 2000s. But by the early 2000s, the Lexus designs, it pains me so much, but I just don't like any of their shit from the early 2000s. The GS that looks like a slightly less tacky version of the Bubble Taurus. The LS430, which was kind of tall and stodgy and ungainly looking. This thing, which I never thought worked. The original GX, which never looked as good as the frickin' 4Runner. Just that, and that was probably about the best one. There's not a thing that Lexus did, and it's fun. It's crazy. That was about the best car quality of all time. Was Lexus in the early 2000s, and I can't handle any of their designs from that time period. Any of them.